So, after 10 episodes, I finally got something that we need. We've always needed on this podcast. And I finally got it. It's going to just exactly what we need. You know what it is?
I'm scared. I'm very terrified. I don't know what it is.
Oh yes, yeah.
Oh my God.
It's a David Lee Roth soundboard.
Good morning. Welcome to the Morning Coffin Podcast with Cryptic Jasmine and Juan Blak.
Next time we have a guest, you have to break that out because they'll just be surprised.
Yes.
And don't tell them either. Just after they say something, just
Play
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially after they says, yeah, like yeah, it was my beginning of my career was really rough.
Yeah.
Like, do you even know which sound is what at this point? Because that makes it even more random. Like,
it's a matter.
You don't know what you're gonna get.
It's a matter of FAFO. Fuck around and find out. You know.
Yeah.
The David Lee Roth edition.
Yeah. Life is like a box of David Lee Roth vocals. You never know what you're gonna get.
Life is like a box of David Lee Roth. You never know which one you're gonna get.
Which
it's
one?
Gonna just jump out in this little spandex.
Oh, hey, Bobo. I saw something.
I thought you were saying Bobo earlier. It's Bobo. Okay.
Yeah, Bobo.
Oh, it is Bobo.
Yeah, it's Bobo.
Okay, I was right. Okay, then I was right. I did hear Bobo.
Yeah.
Bobo. That's what we used to, that's what kids used to call sneakers that weren't name brands when you were a kid. When we were kids. Like,
really?
Yeah. The kids in my school, if you were wearing shoes that were like generic brand, they would call them Bobos.
What?
Like,
I've never heard
wearing
that before.
Bobos. Well, you're a lot younger than I am too.
Well,
this is like a 80s thing.
That's why it's so interesting to me.
Yeah, that's how I feel about it. So hey, hi guys. Good morning.
Hey.
Welcome to the Morning Coffin Podcast. The morning show that records late at night.
Yes, that's our new slogan. And it's also true.
Yes. I'm Juan Blak, and this lovely lady next to me is the wonderful Cryptic Jasmine. If you ain't following her on YouTube yet, you should probably do that.
Well, maybe not.
Well,
I'm not doing so much on there these days.
You still got videos on there, though. They can just backtrack.
Well, that's true. That's true. If you would like.
Yes. If you'd like to subscribe, show some love. Give her some encouragement to make some shorts or something.
Yeah, and also you can support Juan's channel at the link below.
Oh yeah. I have the little scrolly thing. Yeah, so support the channel. Show some love. Help us keep doing bullshit like this.
Yeah.
It's because you love
it. And if you're part of the crew that wants Juan to eat the most disgusting fruit known to mankind, definitely send him something on PayPal because he's not doing it for free.
Yeah, if you're good at something, never do it for free. I don't know if that eating crap is good at something. But yeah, I need to find the Facebook post where there were some comments on. Because I did have it pinned. I accidentally unpinned it to pin up another post. So I got to dig around and find it because I had a whole bunch of suggestions that I forgot to make a note of, make a list. All I know is one of them was durian. I do know that.
Oh, no.
So
that's one I say. I won't go into it because I went into it last time, but all I'll say is people definitely got to pay you for that.
Yeah.
A lot. They got to pay up. Work your way up to it like a thermometer.
Putting that on a pizza at that?
Yeah. Maybe after like a year. after people have earned it. After you hit like 10,000 or 100,000 subscribers or something.
Like, say, do y'all want to see me eat durian that bad on a pizza? Hot durian at that.
Oh God.
Yeah, because
No. No.
because keep in mind it's gonna be on a pizza. So
Ugh.
yeah.
Gross.
Yeah, you're like, wait, I didn't think about that. That's even worse.
That is, I think, I mean, I don't know, but I do think that's even worse. I really do believe. That's what you're gonna sound like after you eat it.
Yep.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I forgot. We have a sort of unofficial guest that we didn't warn anybody about. Joining us today, he's a legend. You know him. You love him. It's Mr. David Lee Roth. How you doing, Dave?
Yeah.
Are you ready for this show?
Yeah.
All right. He's excited.
Nice.
He loves it.
He's
here.
ready. He's
You
ready
want-
for Mental Health May.
You want to ask him anything?
Oh, wow. What shall I ask?
Yeah. No. I mean, what can you ask the legendary Diamond Dave?
And it has to be a yes or no question, probably.
No, he'll improvise. I'm sure,
No.
because it's Dave. That's what he do.
What was the best part of being in Van Halen?
Yep.
That actually summarizes it perfectly.
Exactly. Yeah. That was very poetic. That was some deep shit, Dave.
That was Van Halen.
See, Dave's even an artist when he describes things.
Poetry. Like you said. Such poetry.
All right. So how you doing? You, not Dave.
Me?
All right, shut up.
All right, shut up.
Shut up, Dave.
Pretty good. I feel like today is, well, as of today, we still have about a week left of May.
Yep.
But by the time this episode airs, there'll be a few days left of May. But just in time to honor Mental Health Awareness Month, because I feel like that's something that affects everybody, but especially people who, I don't know what the word is, but if you ever feel like you've struggled with your mental health, then it definitely affects you a lot more.
Absolutely.
So, and I feel like both of us could relate to that. So,
yes.
we're going to talk about that today. And as far as how I've been doing pretty good. And I feel like, you know, there's some stuff going on, trying to like always deal with and process stuff, but I'm trying to focus on the good things that I have going on and the things that I can control right now, which is not always easy. And I don't even think that should be an expectation, because I'm not about that toxic positivity bullshit. Like sometimes you're just not in a place to focus on what's good. You know what I mean? Depending on like what's going on in your life. But
yeah.
I feel that way right now. Like I'm just trying to focus on like what's within my control and like what is good. The things that I have to be thankful for. So that's kind of like where I've been.
Yeah.
What about you?
Kind of the same boat. The hell was that?
Oh my god, it's a ghost. This is your second ghost in 2 days.
No, that wasn't a ghost. That was my spouse going to the bathroom. Like, okay. No, not, I meant walking into the bathroom. That's not what I meant.
Sorry. Sounds from beyond.
I'm like, I just like, because like the mic picks up everything, and I just heard something which was actually him burping, and I was like, what the fuck? It's like great.
Sounds from beyond the door.
It's like great. Now I have a podcast ghost.
Yeah. You will. You have to have one.
Well, I mean,
if it's not your
We had a podcast ghost that was your partner on one episode, and have a podcast ghost of mine that was mine.
That's your partner. Yep. It's all worked out.
There's a balance. There it is.
Now we're even.
But yeah. Oh, by the way, in case you didn't notice, like there's a slight change up today. We have Beans here. Beans said, you know what? Beans says, you know what? I want the spot. Fuck you, Toast.
Good for you, Beans.
And back there is Mr. Butthole Thaddeus.
He has a very funny, serious face.
Yeah.
Another band name, since we're a band name generator. You just made me think of it.
Oh?
The Phantom Partners.
The Phantom Partners. It's either that or a Goosebumps episode.
Yeah, actually, it does sound more like a Goosebumps episode. Or like a Goosebumps book. Phantom Partners.
The Phantom Partner. Well, Dave got scared with that already. He's like, calm down, Dave. It's okay.
Oh, I thought that was excitement.
You see, now he's scared.
Now he's scared.
Watch out, Dave. It's a ghost.
Nice.
David Lee Roth on the next episode of Scooby-Doo.
Oh, Scooby-Doo. I thought you were going to say Ghost Adventures.
Sure, why not? Ghost Adventures, why not? All right, fine.
Scooby-Doo is great, though. I love Scooby-Doo. Ghost Adventures is just ridiculous.
Oh, God. I haven't seen it in years, yeah. Ghost, that's the one with the Zach Baggins or Bilbo Baggins or whatever his damn name is. That guy.
Yeah.
Guy was such an ass.
I know. I loved him so much. I loved him. He was like, I don't know, he was so funny. He was like your stereotypical douche. Like, especially like for the time that Ghost Adventures came out, I feel like calling somebody a douchebag was like so normal back then. It was like a very common diss. And kind of just like a stereotype of like a certain type of guy. And that was him, like practically to a T. Absolutely. But he also had this really funny, serious, poetic side that he was like trying to be serious, but it always just came off funny. I loved it. I loved it so much.
Yeah. It's like, that didn't come out the way
he was so serious.
Out, buddy.
I know, it's so funny.
Yeah, he took himself a little too seriously. He's kind of like Danzig in that sense.
Yeah.
Takes himself so seriously, it's comical.
Yeah. But yet he could be goofy sometimes.
Yeah.
He was goofy, but then he also was really funny when not trying to be funny.
Yeah. Besides the talk of podcast ghosts.
Yes. Back to mental health, May. Yeah, and how you're doing.
Yeah, I've been just working and just trying to figure out how to try to get things done because I'm having car problems, all this shit.
Oh.
It's like, ugh. But I got shows all over the place right now, so that's...
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, because I just had just the World Goth Day thing just happened, and we had our premiere of a well, we had a pre-recorded show, but yeah. And apparently that went over pretty well. They got us a few extra subscribers too, so it's like, oh, cool.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So like I said, it was worth it, and it was cool just being part of it with all these other bands and everything. It's like, it's kind of a big deal being part of like a big festival, but online where everybody can see it,
Yeah.
And it was free, so and there's still one more day. It's still tomorrow. There's still lots of stuff going on day 3.
It's all on his channel, right?
It's all over the place.
Oh, okay.
Because everybody had like links to a lot of them are on YouTube, a lot of them are on Twitch.
That makes more sense because I actually saw yours live on your channel, but I was confused because I was like, wait, I thought they were all streaming on his channel. So maybe I guess I misunderstood that.
It's like that's why I was like sharing like the thing. It had all like the
okay, I get
scheduled. Did you have to plug in?
Yeah.
Plug in and tune out. Far out. Is that freedom rock, man? Yeah, we'll turn it up, man.
What is that?
You never see it. Well, actually, no. It was on. It's like I've seen that commercial really in about 20 years. But there was this commercial, like those Time Life record things, where they have like you have like 8 CDs with classic hits, blah blah blah, all that.
Oh yeah.
I
Yeah.
had this one called Freedom Rock, and it was just like a compilation of like 60s music, 60s, early 70s music, stuff like that. And it showed like these two hippies in a van. And the first hippie was like, "Hey man, is that freedom rock?" And the other was like, "Yeah." He's like, "Well, turn it up, man." I should actually. I'll probably find a commercial for you, because now I was like, I need to show you it,
When were those commercials airing?
Facebook. I didn't ask. Oh God, it's like 20 years ago.
Okay. I've never seen them.
It was it
20
was
years
a
ago.
long. Well, to me, it doesn't seem like a long time ago, but technically, it was.
No, it is. It is.
20
I
years
mean,
ago,
20 years.
you were in grade school.
No, not in grade school. 20 years ago, I was 15. Yeah.
Okay, so high school, just out of grade school. So technically, you was a youngin'. We'll get to the serious part in a minute, but right now, I just want to. I have to show you this real quick. You better mind me. Share a screen. God dang it!
I love the way and I guess there's probably not just one southern accents, but probably several accents that are considered southern, but not just like accents, but also sayings. Like I was watching do you know the show 1,000 Pound Sisters?
Yeah.
I was watching that the other day, and one of the sisters was like, "I'm fixing to brew up some tears." And I was like, I love that so much. Brew up some tears.
Try being my size, Amy.
You don't know how it is. This looks like a much older commercial. Have you seen? Oh wait, okay. Let's see.
Hey man, is that freedom rock? Yeah, man. Well, turn it up, man.
That's what's.
Oh my god!
Pause. You try.
It's got to be the best ad I've seen for a compilation like this.
Stop it.
None of the other ones have skits. Now didn't have a skit.
Oh yeah, it didn't.
Or any of those adult contemporary music ones.
Actually,
from the
no.
90s.
No. They had infomercials.
No, they had exactly. So they didn't have skits.
No, but but still. I mean, the infomercials is practically a skit because, you have this guy talking about, some of these best songs from the 50s. Yeah, these are like classics that we always remember. And he'd always have like this young girl with him. She's like, yeah, these sure were some songs.
I guess I don't remember those.
I don't have to find any commercials. You get the idea, or you can just look them up.
Yeah.
But basically,
have you seen that new? Oh, sorry, go for it.
No, go you first. You go ahead.
No, you go. It's probably related to what you were saying.
Actually, I forgot what I was saying.
No, I'm sorry. This is our issue.
What's up, Dave?
It's like, obviously most people hate commercials, right? It's like, don't like commercials. Never. We just.
I was like, I didn't know this was a setting. I was like, hey, close up.
We're right here in your face now. I'm like,
get a little closer. Don't be shy.
Oh my god.
You okay there?
I'm trying to center myself.
Hold on. Bam. Okay, we're back.
Nice.
Back to mobile.
Too close for comfort. No. Too close to myself for comfort.
Don't you want to get a little closer?
Oh my god.
get creepy
Oh,
with it.
that reminds me. Sorry.
Oh,
Like, now I have all the spider things going on in my brain. But I meant to say this last time.
okay.
Sorry if I made the mic pop with that but. But anyway,
Yeah, we get it
so
popping.
so at the vampire ball, I
Mhm.
thought of you because the vocalist from Fantasma Negra during her set, right before
Mhm.
a song, I forgot what she said, but she said something and then she was like crazy style. I was like, oh my god, I don't even know what that is, but I know what it is because of you. It's that parody of the Nosferatu thing.
Yes.
And then a few people laughed in the crowd, and she was like, yes, thank you for those of you who laughed. But I thought of you. I was like, oh, you would have loved this.
Oh, yeah. That she must bounce on a crazy side. Wait, no, the shit.
Yeah, whatever
Get
she
myself in
said,
trouble.
she then said crazy style afterwards.
Crazy style.
It was great. She said it so good too.
I can't do it
But-
now because it won't be as cool anymore.
Because I know, isn't that crazy? Like, it's not even that old. But it's like,
Yeah.
or do you mean because she did it?
No, I meant in period. You know.
Yeah,
But-
it's weird. Like, things like get irrelevant so quickly now.
Or maybe I'll say, "Oh fuck it, I'll do it anyway." See, there'll be
Yeah.
at least one person at the show that'll go, "Hey, yeah, I get that.
Exactly.
I totally get that reference."
Yeah. I know, it's strange.
He said he's bouncing on
Strange
a
time to
crazy
be
stuff.
alive.
It is.
What do you call it? What was the other thing we were talking about? Speaking of mental health, May.
Here we go.
What were we saying? Commercials. Oh yeah.
Commercials.
Okay, so people hate commercials generally, I think. Nobody
Right.
wants to sit through an ad for the most part. I personally, I'll speak for myself. I hate commercials. Never liked them. They just like annoy me for the most part. It's like that like ugh feeling. But sometimes there's like actually good entertaining ones. And I don't really watch anything that has commercials for the most part. But I don't know where I saw it. Maybe Instagram. Have you seen that funeral commercial? And it's like a new one, and it's actually so good.
Mm-mm.
Oh, I wonder if I could find it, if we could play it, because it's, oh god, what was it for? It was like some sort of like life alert button type of thing. But the whole skit took place at a funeral. I don't know if I should give away the plot because it's so funny, but I just thought, wow, they did such a good job of making an ad that people actually enjoyed watching.
I'll
Maybe if
probably
I
have to look it up later. I don't know if we want to look it up now just in case we might get because that's still fairly recent. So I don't know
Yeah.
if with a copyright for that too or something.
Okay, I found it though, so if anyone wants to watch it, it's Family Proof Your Family Funeral with Life 360 Plus.
Yeah, family proof.
Hilarious.
Keep the fuckers out.
It's legitimately so good.
See, I'll have to check that out now.
But yeah. Mental health. How have you been? How was like you were talking about your stuff and then we went on all these crazy tangents.
Yeah, we did because that's what we do, and that's
what we
fine.
do.
That's part of our charm. It's part of our brand or something like that. But
Definitely our brand.
honestly, like I keep myself busy, but I'm also stressed out a lot too. Because like, fuck, how am I gonna get this shit done? And and I gotta do this next, and then it's always fun because of ADHD.
Oh yeah. It's making everything 20 times easier, I'm sure.
Oh yeah, of course, yeah.
Harder. Yeah.
Yeah, nothing like you have a bunch of stuff to do and then you end up forgetting half of it.
Yeah. What would you say are like the main things stressing you right now? And if you don't want to talk about it, you don't have to.
No,
You can
that's
just say
fine.
move on.
No, it's okay. I think the biggest thing is the finance thing. Oh, what is going on here? Toast can't come up here today. You're like, no. You see that? Toast jumps up. She's like,
Yeah, she's claimed her spot today.
Yeah, Bean's like, this is my spot now. This is my show. I'm taking
Yeah,
over.
she's like, you're always here. It's my turn.
Yeah, Toast is pouting right now.
Oh,
Come here.
she misses her spot.
Come here. You can come over here. Oh, no. Okay. Well, excuse me. Miss Attitude over here. Toastitude.
Oh,
But it's like it's kind of things like finances and then you go like, oh,
yeah.
look back, like, well, how did I get here? You know?
Oh, then you start like what, beating yourself up?
Oh yeah. Well, that's the regular.
Yeah, and that's hard because just the way things are now, though, it's like I would say really unfair for most people to even put it on themselves because we did not create this like insane cost of living crisis, you know.
No.
It's like beyond ridiculous at this point.
And it's only getting worse. Unfortunately.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I hope something changes.
And you know, that's like
I still have a fool's hope that's like it will get so bad that we have some sort of revolt and then like they do things like what's the word I'm looking for? Housing, is it housing caps?
Yeah.
Caps on housing? Something like that. But it's just totally out of control.
I mean, people
and everything else, healthcare too.
Yeah.
And everything.
Especially like especially the fact that like fucking healthcare for people under a certain fucking bracket is on a chopping block right now, and it's like
right. It's just like and that just keeps getting worse.
Yeah, we're being run by people who hate poor people.
Right.
And unfortunately, you know, poor people voted for that, thinking they were going to get it was going to help them, and in turn, like surprise, he's doing the thing we told you he was going to do. Oh my god, shocking.
Yeah.
But you know, that's not helping with like. I mean, like with everybody, like people that are dealing with mental health issues and everything, none of that is helping with that either. Just
right,
like with just the stress of like, it's like you have the added stress of going, well, am I going to lose my Medicare now because you know these people are stupid,
absolutely,
and greedy, you know,
absolutely. That's such a huge point. For various reasons. One, I guess diving into the mental health stuff. One, how much our mental health is actually circumstantial. Like it's easy to believe that you and like I also believe that literally you can't generalize. It's a case by case because I do think like some people who struggle with depression do actually have like a chemical imbalance, for example. But then there's other people who struggle with depression, chronic depression, because the circumstances in your life are chronically fucked. You know what I mean? And like I think both are true. And it's not either or, and we keep trying to treat everything the same. So like definitely there's a circumstantial component to mental health. And the fact that things are just like progressively getting worse in these ways mean more and more people are now going to struggle with their mental health. Because whoever said like money doesn't buy happiness was full of shit. Because
absolutely,
like to a certain degree, I mean, they even have studies on it. To a certain point, it literally does, because it buys security and like the ability to have the things you need to take care of yourself.
The people who say shit like, "Oh, money can't buy happiness," blah blah blah, stuff like that. They're usually people that have like a lot of money,
right? Yeah, I think it probably comes from people who have a lot of money who are still miserable. So I do get that side of the coin. It's like you could have a lot of money and still be like miserable.
If you're miserable with a lot of money, you know, give it to us. You know, we'll take it. Give me that.
Yeah,
Like, well, you know what? We'll
exactly.
make you happy. Just give us that money. We'll take care of
Right. Yeah. But I
it. We'll
think
be
that's a
miserable.
whole other issue. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
That's a whole other can of worms. But
absolutely. Will you quit?
it can absolutely contribute to struggling with your mental health if you're struggling financially. Of course, like hello. It only makes sense. It's like stress, could be depression, it could like lead to a lot of things. Trauma, I think like that's a sort of trauma that people don't talk about.
Yeah,
That people are starting to talk about more.
they are. And once again, you have an administration that's just kind of blowing it off. It's like, will you
Yeah.
stop? Okay, so the attention isn't focused on you, so now you're gonna start wrecking blade stuff. Quit. Dang, girl. She's literally over here mad right now. She has an attitude. She's jumping up on the table. She is just like knocking over everything she can. She's just like, I saw her. She's like pawing one thing after another. She's like, fuck this. Fuck this thing too. Fuck this thing in particular. I don't get that attitude because Beans took your spot.
In
You mad.
particular.
Big mad.
Oh.
Why you can come over here and snuggle next to me like you were earlier. You want to do that? No, you're just gonna look at me with an attitude? Fine. Beans gets no fucks right now. It's like, I'm comfortable. Fuck off. See, that helps the mental
No.
health. Just
The
help.
cats?
Yeah, actually,
That's so funny.
it
I
does
was
help a
literally
lot.
just going to ask you that. I was going to ask you uh throughout, and you don't, I feel like you have been open and I feel like I've been open, but if at any point there's something you don't want to talk about on, this episode, obviously
Yeah,
we could just say pass, skip. David Lee Roth answered.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah. But if to whatever degree you feel comfortable, I feel like what, and I know this is probably like a loaded question, but I guess what do you feel like has been your evolution with mental health, and like what have been some of the things that have
Please.
helped?
I'll tell you what's not helping right now. Quit.
Toast.
Yeah, toast is doing the most.
Oh, and also what are things that haven't helped that people keep telling you will help and then they didn't, and like what are things that have actually helped too?
I mean, things that help. I mean, I do have a supportive spouse. You know, they've actually they stuck around with me through a lot of shit. That's been a major plus.
Hmm.
And then these little shits have helped with that too, because it's just, I mean, it's just nice sometimes. I mean, sometimes it can be a little infuriating, but really, it's like literally having kids.
Yeah.
Except I don't have to pay for like college or anything for them. Not that they would go.
Is it like part of that they just bring you joy just
Yeah.
from being there? Yeah.
Yes. And it's weird that sometimes they kind of interact with you like that too. It's like, I mean, it's like it's just the way they are. Sometimes they're like, "Oh, you look like you feel bad. I know, make you feel better. Pet me."
Oh. Oh.
Like, I give you the gift of me. Like
And then it does in the moment.
they're little attention seeking. Like self-centeredness kind of like sort of a blessing because you do get
Yeah.
distracted.
And you do focus on them.
Yeah,
Yeah. Totally.
and it does help.
Yeah.
And it helps a lot of people. That's why a lot of people have pets and animals.
Yeah. And literal like emotional support animals. Yeah.
Yeah, I always thought it was cruel, like when people were like when we have people that are homeless, and literally the only thing that's keeping their head together just enough is the fact they have a dog.
Oh. Yeah.
People are like, well, maybe we'd be homeless if you got rid of the dog. It's like, sometimes having that dog is one thing that's keeping them from unaliving themselves and keeping them from giving up, you know?
Yeah. Definitely. And that's so like ignorant to say as well. That's just like the whole like, well, if you stopped having a latte, you could buy a house. It's like, dude,
Oh
it's like so
God.
far gone from that at this point. Like, no.
That is such a that is just one of that list of tone deaf things to say to people.
Yeah.
And
Like just completely obliviously
yeah.
unaware.
And to get to the question, actually leading into the other question that you asked about what doesn't help. Number one, fucking saying tone deaf shit like that.
Right. Yeah.
Especially these people who be like, oh well, if you're depressed, the best cure for depression is just like go outside, touch grass.
Mm-mm.
All you need is sunshine, and then you're blah blah blah, or just smile, make yourself smile. And it's like,
Sorry.
it's not that fucking simple.
No, it's not. It's really, and that's what's hard too, is like, because like I've experienced like, yes, right, like going outside and going for walks and all this can help you feel better. It
Mhm.
can, but are you even to the point where you're able to get out of bed to do that? Like,
Yeah, that's the issue.
if you can't even get out of bed, then you're literally giving someone advice that they can't take, because so yeah, it's wild. Like the one that would annoy me the most was, well, have you tried yoga? Have you tried
Oh
yoga?
God.
Dude, like I can't tell you how many times people told me that whenever I was struggling with depression, and it drove me insane. Like yoga is not going to fix me.
No, it's not.
Yeah,
Is it
I know
nice?
what you
Is
mean.
it helpful for like body stuff? Absolutely. Oh yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's gonna help you with your mental health? Not exactly. I mean, there is there some side benefits that might help a tiny bit with certain things. Yeah, but
Yeah.
it's not like a cure, you know.
Right. And I'll say this too. I think another place that comes from is, like I said before, I don't think we can make everything universal or the same. Like it's really a case by case, person by person basis. So
Yeah.
maybe there are people out there who legitimately had the depression cured by yoga. I'm not going to say it never happened. Um I'm sure there's a few people out there who it has
Yeah.
helped them. But that's not going to be the case for everyone, because even medication isn't the case for everyone. You know,
Yeah.
like I'm all for medication, and I know that like medication is like life-saving and necessary for some people, but
Right.
unfortunately I am one of those medication resistant people. It has never helped me, you
Right.
know? So even that isn't a blanket answer.
I I don't take medication. I don't number one, I don't for one, I don't really think it's that necessary for me to, per se to
Mhm.
take it. And I kind of have a weird thing about it anyway. It's like I support anybody who takes it and it helps them.
Yeah, same.
But also in the same breath, I've also seen how like, I think things have changed a bit now. But like back like in the 90s and stuff, I've seen how doctors would just like, just basically just throw whatever and see what sticks. In the
Yeah,
meantime, it's just like
totally.
meantime, these people I've known were on medications and they were just all kinds of fucked up because
Yeah.
doctors are like, well, let's see if this works. Like,
Right. No, totally. And it's probably over, I don't want to say over prescribed, but it's overly gone to as like not only the first option but like the only
yeah,
option, by doctors specifically. But I get that it's hard too, because it's like, well, what is anyone supposed to do?
yeah,
Like the meds aren't helping, the yoga's not helping. But I really think it's a case by case basis.
oh,
But for
absolutely,
me, Yeah. So you kind of just have to trial and error, which is the really hard part, especially when you're really struggling um, with something like depression or like severe anxiety or bipolar disorder or a borderline personality disorder, or anything that like really extremely impacts you.
Right.
But but it really is going to be a trial and error, case by case basis for everybody. And like something that helped me actually, I don't want to say therapy in general because I saw several therapists before that did
Yeah.
not like help me at all. And in fact, I think some of them made some things worse by
That's
but
you just got to
yes,
find the
go
right
ahead.
one though. You have to find the
Yes.
right. There was like, I mean, like Apollo went through some trial and error finding a right therapist, and a couple of them were once in a bit tone deaf, and they were on there like,
Mm.
well, what's that thing? Kept telling about like something about like maybe practice like mindfulness or something,
Oh, yeah.
and it's
Hmm.
like it's yeah, that's a whole nother thing, but
Yeah.
eventually, last couple of therapists of Paul's have been actually been pretty good. So I
That's
mean,
good.
but it's a matter of like hopefully finding the right therapist because not every therapist is going to be a good fit because sometimes they're only used to dealing with certain types of people, and also therapists need therapists too. So it's like sometimes those therapists have shit going on, so I think that gets in the way sometimes of what they're doing. I
Yeah.
don't know. I'm not a therapist or a regular therapist, so it's hard to say.
Yeah. But
But
I
real quick,
finally
oh sorry, go
found
ahead.
Oh, sorry. No, you go for it.
No, you were about to say you finally found.
Yeah, the hard thing, and anyone who needs therapy probably knows this as well from experience, that one, when you're looking for a therapist, sometimes it's hard to even, like, sometimes the line is so long to get in to see a therapist that it, like, you need one now, but you don't get in for months sometimes. And then
Mm-hmm.
you finally get
Yeah,
in and it's like not a good match, but maybe you don't even have the awareness to know that it's not a good match because you've never like done this before. So you
yeah,
don't like realize that it's the therapist. So that process takes a while. Um and then when you finally do find a good therapist, you like can't afford it anymore, or like you like don't have your job anymore, you like don't have insurance anymore, and so you can't keep seeing them. Like that's
yeah,
happened to me a lot of times, of why I've seen so many different therapists. And even when I found one that I really liked, I think the longest I was able to see one for any stretch of time was like a few months, because then I just like couldn't afford it anymore because my circumstances changed. But I will say the good therapists that I've seen, even in short blocks of time, really started to help me like put puzzle pieces together. And that first therapist I saw that was good, within our first session, she was like, "You've got CPTSD and you've got a dysregulated nervous system." And I was like, "What is that?" Like, I had never even heard of that before, you know?
yeah,
And I will say I haven't healed my nervous system still to this day. And this was maybe 4 years ago when this like therapist like really affirmed that, and like I felt in myself that it was true. And it's still not healed, but like the awareness has helped me a lot, you know,
yeah,
for that. And I think that, again, it's not universal, so that's not going to help everybody, but I think a lot more people are running around with dysregulated nervous systems that don't even know what that means. you know?
yeah. It, and that goes to another thing because a lot of people say it's like, well, because like the big thing, and you hear it like mentioned on other like YouTube videos or other podcasts actually, like
Mhm.
people pushing like the thing BetterHelp,
Oh yeah.
but
Yeah.
and it sounds nice, but I hear a lot of like conflicting stories about it, a lot of like not good things about stuff like that,
Yeah.
and, and then of course it's just you got to think of costs and like or whatever.
Yeah, I think that's the hard part about something like BetterHelp. Um, it's obviously maybe at the beginning their intentions were to help people,
Yeah,
like their name.
because the concept is great.
Yeah, exactly. Um, I think it just becomes, unfortunately, like everything else, about money and
Yeah.
just like how much volume they can have, like how many therapists they can have without really vetting the therapists enough. Um,
Mm.
and that's where I think a lot of the bad experiences have come from, is like just not good experiences with the therapists themselves. But that's not to say that all therapists on there aren't good. Uh, I actually did try BetterHelp for a short period of time. And again, same thing. I just like couldn't afford it anymore. But the therapist I found
Right.
on there was a good match. Like she was actually really
Oh,
good. But
well, that's
I
good.
just couldn't afford it anymore. And then they kind of, what I didn't like about BetterHelp, which I could have done a better job at like being more proactive about it, but it's kind of one of those things that when you're like not doing well, everything becomes harder. But
Oh yeah.
somehow it happened that we weren't able to meet uh due to like a miscommunication or a misunderstanding. And so like I didn't get to meet with her like 3 times in a row.
Mm.
Uh but I still had to pay for it. And so I was just like,
That's
F this, and I canceled, you know.
that's weird.
Yeah.
It's like, how are you going to get charged for an appointment that you're not able to do because of the doctor or the person that you're
Right.
supposed to? That's
Exactly. Because it wasn't like I didn't make it. That I kind of get, but um it was like definitely mishaps on the platform side or the like doctor side. So I don't know. It was just,
mm,
that's
yeah,
why when people complained about better health, I'm like, I could kind of see why, because you
yeah,
know
yeah,
I had that experience. But yeah,
yeah.
definitely.
Which is that because like I was saying, like the concept is a great idea.
Yeah,
It's just the execution needs work.
yeah, and I think the vetting probably
Yeah,
too. From some of the horror stories I've read, the main issue seemed to be like the therapists themselves like didn't care, which
right.
you
Yeah.
know
Which you run into that, just a regular therapist through,
exactly.
doctor's
So
office too.
yeah,
That's the thing.
exactly. But I think that's why better, is it Better Help or Better Health?
Better help.
Better Help
Yeah,
gets
better help.
such a, like, if they have this huge volume of therapists, it's gonna just percentage wise like end up being their issue, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, especially
But
when
they
they
could
have more
maybe,
patients.
yeah, sorry, go for it, go for it.
Especially when they have more patients and doctors too, or doctor but therapists rather.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but maybe that could be solved with like better vetting.
Yeah. Oh,
But
absolutely, 100%. Yes.
yeah, but yeah, that helped me when my therapist pointed out about a dysregulated nervous system. And the other thing that helped me a lot was, I don't know if you're familiar with Dr. K or Healthy Gamer.
Mm-mm.
But again, not a one size fits all. So I'm not like Dr. K will solve all your problems. but but Dr. K like legitimately helped me a lot. Like processing stuff. So basically Dr. K is a YouTuber who has
Mhm.
the name of the channel is Healthy Gamer. And he's a
Hmm.
therapist who studied to become a monk in India, um, and then became a doctor, and then became a psychiatrist, but with a very heavy background in spirituality and psychology.
Hmm.
But he's like so legit. He's like the most legit person ever. Like he even recently released a video that said it's getting harder to treat depression because the reasons that people are depressed are because they're hyper aware of the fucked up realities. And it's kind of like what we were talking about.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
he's
that makes
so
sense.
real for saying that, you know? He's so real for saying that because he's saying that can't be cured with like medication, you know?
Yeah, that's true.
And
It
that's not
can't.
to, yeah. And that's not to leave us in a hopeless place to say that there's nothing that can be done, but it's just to acknowledge that this is a reality, you know?
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
not like you're broken because you're depressed. It's like you, everything else is kind of broken and fucked. So it makes sense if you're depressed.
absolutely. And I just like I deal with depression all the time. Like sometimes I don't. Sometimes I get a break from it. I'm like
Yeah.
I'm actually doing okay. Then other times it just pops up for no reason. Sometimes it has a trigger. Sometimes it doesn't need when it's going. Hi, I'm just gonna hang out here for
Yeah.
a while. So deal. It's
Yeah.
just like it's like a house guest that won't go away. You know, like,
Yeah.
oh fuck off. You came in here. You just fucking raided my fridge. You drank up all my fucking drinks. You pissed all over my toilet seat. Go away. And your depression's like, nah. What's on TV?
Yeah. It really is like that because
Yeah,
half the time, at least from my experience, not to speak for anyone else, but I feel like half the time when you are actually like deep in depression, all you can really manage to do is like bed rot anyways, outside of, anything you absolutely must do if you,
yeah.
can do what you must do.
And sometimes some people can't even do that because yeah, it's like I mean like there's some days I don't even want to I just don't want to
Yeah.
anything.
Anything. Yep.
But
Totally get that.
I can't do it because well, rent's got to get paid. Jobs got to be jobbed. Well, worked, not jobbed.
Yes.
Oh, I'm gonna go to job to be jobbing, but you got to work. Bills have got to be paid, and it's like your job doesn't unfortunately doesn't care if you're having a bad mental health day. Unfortunately, the bills,
Yeah.
the rent, they don't give a shit. They're like, oh, you're having a bad mental health day. Well, how about this? You don't need this anymore. Let somebody else pay for this, and you can just go on somewhere. And it's fucked up. That's another,
Yeah.
which is a whole nother problem right there with society right now. It's like
Yes.
it's like a lot of this just opens up a can of worms. This is going to turn into another 2-hour episode if I let it.
Oh.
but just because it's like people like when you get to the homeless situation,
Hmm.
that should be another episode we cover. But I
Yeah.
mean, um, people I think a lot of people are homeless because oh well, they don't care. They want to live like that. They just want to be on the drugs and blah blah blah. And being someone that has been homeless, I could tell you that's not the case. And a lot of it's like shit happens. You end up out in the streets, and then it's like after a while, it's just like being homeless is like an extreme fucking like blow to your mental health, your everything. So you're dealing with that, and you're in people like me, like so many people, just beating yourself up because you're in that situation. It feels hopeless, and it's not something that's easy to get out of. So of course, like yeah, fucking the depression is going to be worse if people are already mentally ill when they end up in that situation. That increases
Yeah.
that, and
Hmm.
and this country's fucking response to that is fucking horrid. It's
Yeah.
like the response to that is like, oh well, we could do these things to help people, to house people, because God forbid, I mean, while we owe other countries fucking trillions of dollars in money, we're still considered like the richest country in. Girl, what are you doing? Richest country in the world. no one wants to just like part with a little bit of money to let people like live in like houses because we have so much real estate. Like let's take Los Angeles for instance. When I left there, they were building all these fucking apartment buildings in the North Hollywood area, for instance. And they were like building these lofts and everything. You know, $500,000 lofts, very expensive because they were like building this like, oh, we're gonna get all these out of towner people with money moving in here.
Mm-hmm.
No, they just end up
Right.
having all these empty, expensive lofts just sitting there.
Mm. Oh, interesting. I
And
thought for sure they would have gotten snatched up.
no. I mean,
Oh.
I don't know how it is now. I'm sure they had to change some things around, probably come down in price a little bit. But also keep in mind, COVID came in to play a few years ago. So,
Right.
which is
Yeah, that's true.
that's the other thing. A lot of people became homeless because of that. Because
Yep.
it's like everybody was on like shutdown and couldn't work. People didn't care about the rent. They're just like, oh, you haven't been able to work because you're on whatever.
Yeah.
No, that's not our problem. You know, oh, you haven't been able to sick because you had COVID. Well, maybe you could be sick somewhere else. You know,
Right.
it's just
Yeah.
that's how fucked up and heartless like the people that run this fucking country are. How the rich people are. This is, oh God,
Yeah.
it's and being somebody that's had to deal with that firsthand and still saw it, and it was bad enough when I was homeless, like because I was homeless right before I moved out here, almost 10 years ago. I was sleeping in my car in a Denny's parking lot in North Hollywood. And the homeless problem was bad then, but in almost 10 years later, and after a pandemic, it's increased like 300-fold right now. It is
Yeah.
like, it's bad out here in Indiana too, because I mean, you don't see it as much as you would in LA, but it's like you go to certain areas, boom, you
Yeah.
know,
Definitely.
and that definitely does, being in a situation like that does stuff to you. Like
Mm-hmm.
even if you were pretty much mentally stable before that, you have to live like that for a while, or if you've been like that for a couple years or whatever, you're not going to be mentally stable after that. That does something to you. And people want to blame drugs, and yeah, a lot of people do use drugs because that's how they have to cope sometimes.
Right. Yeah.
Maybe give people a reason for hope, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
If you give somebody some hope, they won't have to worry about fucking doing shit or whatever. Give some people hope, just help people out. It's not that fucking hard. But now we deal with an administration that doesn't fucking care about poor people. It doesn't care about mentally ill people. It doesn't care about anybody, but except for lining their own fucking pockets. And it's ridiculous. And
Yeah.
I'm going to stop there because my rant will keep going. and
No,
it's
it's so valid though. I actually, to be honest, don't think you can actually have a conversation about mental health in this day and age without talking about these things,
oh
because
no.
it is the housing crisis and the cost of living, and then like everything that you touched on. It's like, okay, so no matter what end of the spectrum you start on, they sort of exasperate each other. So like if you had an addiction problem,
Mm-hmm.
and then that like got so out of control that you ended up, you know, uh living on the streets, then I can imagine that's only going to get worse. Because
Yeah.
why would you stop when you're basically in the worst position, when you're even in a worse position and you have even more to escape from, like, it just makes sense. And then
Yeah,
same like what, like you said, of like the mental health stuff. If you were struggling with your mental health so much that you weren't able to function in society in order to survive in the society, then yeah, it's going to make your mental health worse. Or if you just ended up homeless due to like financial reasons, it could lead to mental health problems that you didn't have before, or a drug addiction that you didn't have before, as like you said, a way to cope. So like I all these things, I see how they're like very connected. But like I said, especially in this day and age with the housing crisis, it's kind of like you really can't have a conversation about mental health without touching on it. So
exactly.
definitely is all tied together. I just wish there was a practical solution for that, because like you said, with the current, and I don't even administration, yes, but also just the people in positions of power,
Oh,
like
yes.
the people who are buying up all of the real estate and artificially inflating the cost of housing that have been doing this for the last 10 years. Like, it's just pure greed.
It
It's
is.
so unfortunate that so many things have gotten worse in our society because
Mhm.
of greed.
Like, for instance, y'all's governor, California governor.
Oh God, what'd he do? I don't pay attention to anything, so I don't know
Yeah,
these
he's
days.
he's trying to encourage cities to like just basically like like ban all like any type of homeless encampment, and it's like, so okay, what's
So
your
what are
solution
people
to
supposed to
that then?
do? Right, exactly. What are people supposed to do?
So
Like,
where are they supposed to go?
right. Like, there has to be a solution, and I hope that the solution is not criminalization.
Oh, that's exactly what their solution is, though. That's the problem. That's
Yeah.
always been the solution that they've been going for, even back when I was homeless, even way before
Ugh,
that.
it's
They're
so
just like,
unfortunate.
if you're homeless, because if you're homeless, you can't be homeless because shit happens and your life got bad and you just need help to get back on your feet.
Right.
No, no, you're homeless because you're a degenerate trash. That's why, and you don't deserve like any sort of like human like caring or food or
Yeah.
housing. You don't deserve any of that because you're a dredge on society and you scare the tourists away
I
or
feel like
whatever.
that's what makes things even, well, I don't want to say even worse, but that's what makes things so bad is, even if, hypothetically, even if we're talking about the segment of people who are homeless because they struggled with an addiction,
All right.
that is something that people need help with. That is something that people need rehab and resources
Oh, yeah,
to help them. Not criminalization. Like, that's what sucks so bad, is that there are, I'm not going to say easy solutions, but there are more humane solutions. And I also have to be honest, I think that criminalization is more inhumane. But I see people, like where I live right now, I see people living in the streets, and the way that some people are left to like struggle, like, because especially the people that you could tell have like some kind of like severe mental thing going on, that they like can't really take care of themselves,
yeah,
that's not humane to just leave people to like rot out there. That's not humane either. Like, I don't know what the solution is. It's obviously not a simple solution, but there's definitely got to be a better one than what's going on now and what they had before.
exactly. It's like all the shit you were doing before and the shit you're doing right now is not
Yeah.
working. Time for a new thing.
No.
It's like time to actually go. Time to do the approach that you should have did to begin with. So
Yeah.
y'all, It's like y'all all claiming that Christian shit. Y'all
Mm-hmm.
all like, oh, guys,
Exactly.
well, now it's time to put up or shut up.
Yeah.
Do that good Christian shit and try to take it. Which, while I'm ranting, I have another rant I want to.
Black TV and the Morning Coffin Podcast proudly present the Black TV Merch Store. Show your support for the channel and for the podcast and the musical projects by supporting the merchshare.com Black TV Store. Get yourself some merch today. Lots of different designs and more coming soon. That's merchshare.com/Black TV Store. Visit today. Today's episode brought to you by
get into. Speaking of which, since we're gonna it's all like the Venn diagram circles attaching each other here,
Right. Yeah, definitely.
like faith-based homeless shelters and like things that are supposed to help the homeless. It's nice to give the option if people want to be part of that faith.
Mm-hmm.
It's fine, but
Mm-hmm.
for instance, like, because I like ever since the time I lived in Los Angeles, from like the 90s up until I left like 10 years ago, I had a period of time where I was like on and off homeless, because that was the luck I had in California. Sometimes I'll be doing okay. Next thing you know, I'm on the streets again. Cool. But there was places you go to where like they like give you meals if you're homeless or anything, or like maybe they give you groceries or stuff or whatever, or they'd let you like give you a cot to sleep in. But there are some of these places that were like they would make you do a Bible study and all this before you could even
Like
eat.
in exchange. Yeah.
It's like, so you're forcing people.
Right.
It's like you don't see there's a problem with that. You don't think your God would have a problem with that. But then again,
Right.
maybe their God wouldn't have a problem with that. Consider the fact, the religion, at least in my opinion, seems like it's based on worshiping a sky daddy who created beings in order to stroke his ego for eons, and that, which is another wild concept to me. And no offense to anybody that is Christian, I'm just saying this is my personal thoughts on this. And it bothers me because when people make that their fucking personality and they
Yeah.
use that against people, this is where I have a problem with it. Your
Totally.
beliefs is your beliefs. It's fine, but
Absolutely.
it's like these same people are claiming, people like us are like, oh well, you're shoving your lifestyles down your throat. No, we're fucking not.
Right. You're not
We're not.
trying to tell anyone that they have to be gay or whatever.
Yeah, it's like
Like-
it's like we already got a bunch of y'all on the down low on Grinder trying to hook up, and that's we could do without that, really.
Yeah.
Except for the people that are sex workers who are making their money off of them. Bless them.
Yeah.
Bless them, and may they be safe and get all that money, get that bag. Absolutely. I fully condone, endorse that, whatever. If you got some fucking congressman on the down low wanting to pay you to for a little fun, if you're making some money off it, do it. Charge them extra. Charge them double.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like I said, I mean, but for the most part, we could do without these fucking, the in the closet in the closet homophobes, people who want to, so we're not trying to recruit people. You either
Right.
are or you aren't.
Yeah.
In their case, they are literally forcing it down
Yeah.
people's throats. Not every person, because I know a few people that are Christian or whatever, or that they have a Christian adjacent faith or whatever, and
Mhm.
not all of them are like that,
Right. Trying to shove
you
it down
know,
other people's throats. Yeah.
or just weaponizing
Mhm.
Jesus. you know, they're not all
Yeah.
doing that, but too many people are,
Too many.
and that's the problem.
Exactly. Probably more than not are,
Especially
unfortunately.
nowadays, a lot more, and it's like
I think that's what's
I'm,
so
I'm
sad too. Oh, sorry, go for it.
no, go no, please, because I will keep talking, please.
Well, it's just interesting because, like, in talking about mental health and like where spirituality kind of falls into that and how that means different things to different people. Um, and again, that's a very personalized thing.
Mm-hmm.
So I've seen, I'll say the one positive thing, the one positive thing, but then mostly on the negative side. But the one positive thing about that is I have seen some people legitimately be able to turn their lives around, and that's the thing that they cling on to. And I'm like, hey, whatever works. Like, if
Yeah,
you're in a better place and you're happier and that's what you needed to like be okay, like, I'm all for it. But where it starts to go south is when they start thinking, well, this was the answer for me, so now it's got to be the answer for everyone. And then they start like
eh,
shoving it down people's throats.
yeah,
It's like,
yeah,
like, I
yeah.
have my beliefs, but I don't think, like, I don't go around thinking like everyone should think what I think. Everyone
Right,
should
right.
believe what I believe. Like, who cares? Like, let people find their own way.
Yeah, because
Um,
I mean that's where I'm at. I have
yeah.
my own feelings on faith, and to be 100% honest, if anything, I'm closer to fucking Satanist adjacent, because it considering the fact that Satanism seems to make more sense and be more compassionate for people than a lot of big mega church Christians right now. I'm
Yeah.
not saying like all, because I mean you have other sections of things just like everybody else,
Right, right. Well, I
But
think like like your average your average Satanist, obviously Satanism is very misunderstood in itself,
oh
because
yeah,
at least this is as far as I understand, correct me if I'm wrong, but as far as I understand it, like, a majority of modern day Satanists aren't even really like all that into like Satan. It's more of a, like, honoring of the self and like being a humanitarian.
yeah.
But you do honor yourself, which I don't necessarily think there's anything wrong with that, because I think something that's also weaponized by a lot of religious people and has worked in favor of controlling people by religion is this whole aspect of guilt and being selfless. So you're
Mhm.
actually going to actively harm yourself and not do what's best for you so that you can do what's best for the church, for example, you know? Um and so I don't know, I've personally, like, growing up Catholic, like, I had a lot of guilt weaponized
Same.
against me, and it's something I still struggle with to this day. Like, the guilt machine that works inside me is still very active, and it's a self, like, I don't even need anyone to guilt me. It just
Right.
happens all by itself automatically now, and I'm working on it. Mental health. Talking about mental health wise, I'm working on it, but it was so ingrained in me for so long. It's something I very much still struggle with. But to the point of Satanism, I don't think there's anything wrong with thinking that you're a person of value and that you should value yourself. Like, why not? It makes sense. Like, shouldn't you value yourself in your own life? I think
Yeah.
the idea of being selfless is a little too put on a pedestal, but I think it's also used for people to weaponize that against themselves, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
You know?
Agreed. Yes. Absolutely 100%. And also being someone who was born and raised Catholic as well, which I know it's a lot of us that are born and raised Catholic are fucked up. What does that say about Catholicism? You know,
Both, yeah. And just like
especially
the cultures, yeah, within
yeah,
not just Catholicism though, but yeah.
yeah, I grew up in 2 Catholic schools, so and back in the day, it was I don't know if Catholic schools still like that, but that was back when I was a kid. Like nuns had full on license to whoop your fucking ass. So
That's
you
crazy.
you ain't known a beat down till you got a beat down from Sister Mary Seamus.
Oof. Sorry. I believe if by the time I was in school, I don't think they were allowed to beat you. Sorry. It sounds crazy to say.
It sounds crazy, but I grew up
it's
I grew
true.
up in the 80s.
Yeah.
In the 80s it was fine. They were like, yes, okay, just
Yeah.
punch me in the head, it's fine. They'll be all right.
That's so
They'll bounce back, it's
awful.
good.
But you could kind of tell, even though like by the time I was like, let's say first grade, and I was like around nuns, they couldn't hit you, but they would like grab you by the ear and pull you up to the chalkboard. But you could just tell, like, some of them had this like venom in them, like they wanted to hurt you, like they got off on that shit. You know what I mean? Like psycho. Real. Sorry, I guess I shouldn't use that word, especially in this episode. But real sociopathic behavior, should we say that? I feel like is acceptable.
I think honestly, okay, try me doing wannabe therapist for a minute. I think a lot of that, looking back on it now, a lot of that was a lot of repressed anger. Because here you are. I mean, no telling what some of these women went through before they joined the convent, or how long they've been in a convent, or things that happened while they're in a convent. And it's like, nuns have to have a certain demeanor. So, basically anything that they had going on, once again, mental health jumps into the chat again. This is everything we've talked about so far. Mental health is like, hi, I'm here.
Yeah.
But once again, a lot of like them probably had to deal with like mental health issues and stuff. And especially when I was growing up in the 80s, therapy wasn't as big because, if you needed therapy, then what's wrong with you? And in that case, I would say with a lot of nuns, is like they would more have to pray on things and just like give up to God or whatever. And that doesn't always help. That doesn't always work, and that's the problem. And it's henceforth that build up a lot of anger that they had to fucking push down, a lot of resentment, a lot of like confusion and just depression and so much. And then eventually just like some little Johnny son of a bitch, fucking just disrupting the classroom. All of a sudden it's like gets that little or maybe you or just just anything, any little trigger,
Yeah.
because I mean while they are nuns and they are married to God, they are still human, and they have to deal with the same human things that we all do,
Yeah, definitely. I could see that.
I just realized somebody's gonna go, what? I was like, yeah, little Johnny son of a bitch.
Oh, I thought you were gonna throw in a Van Halen sound effect.
Oh, sorry. There you go. Sorry, I missed my cue.
That's okay.
This episode brought to you by Dead Souls Gothic Lounge. Dead Souls Gothic Lounge celebrates goth culture inclusivity twice a month. Every second Saturday at Wheeler with live music performances, and every last Tuesday of the month at Melody Inn with live music or guest DJs. Check out Facebook and Instagram for Dead Souls Gothic Lounge. Yeah, David, you know, if you're gonna be a guest, you need to actually interact here. Any thoughts? Yeah, that was deep. Thank you, Dave. Thank you.
His
Yeah,
thoughts on the
that's-
Catholic Church. Sorry.
What do you think about the nuns? What do you think about those nuns, Dave? God. Oh my God.
He's contributed so much.
See, he's thrilled that you said that.
Oh.
What?
Oh, wait a minute. Hey,
Oh, yeah.
what's the Kool-Aid Man slogan?
Oh yeah. Oh, sorry. I don't remember the Kool-Aid Man saying that.
That's close. That's close.
They got the Kool-Aid Man.
We'll give it to him.
David Lee Roth is the Kool-Aid Man.
That's his version.
Yes. All right.
Yeah, that'll do. That is the correct answer.
Yeah, unfortunately, they don't have these marks. It's like you just like pick one. It's like, like maybe this will be the right one. But before Dave had to unleash his philosophy upon us and tell us his thoughts on nuns.
We didn't really come into this with a plan. We just knew we wanted to talk about mental health, and we've definitely touched on a lot of things because, like, everything is related to mental health. It really is.
Yeah,
it's either
it really is.
Yeah, it's like even if we break up us as beings into physical and mental health, your physical health still affects your mental health, and your mental health still affects your physical health. So, you know, it really is all kind of tied together.
It's like if get out and move around, that might help your mental health. But I mean, your mental health is probably is the reason why you can't get up to do anything. So it's like
exactly. So you just have to find and honestly, how I felt for a long time, and I'm very thankful. This is like what I was talking about earlier at the beginning of like just trying to like be thankful for things that are in my control and like what I have going on right now, because for so long I just felt like I was stuck. I felt like I was in a tangled, mangled web where it kind of like just looked like a bowl of like mangled spaghetti, and it was all of these things, and you're like, okay, well, where do I have control in my life? What can I focus on? What can I try to like make better? And so you start pulling on one string, but it's like tied up in knots with all these other things. So I feel like it's very much like that. And until you can find something that's not so wound up with everything else, which is hard and not always possible, or like somehow your circumstances change, like sometimes that's what it takes, is like trying to find like what string can you pull on, what change can you make, or like what one thing can you do that actually helps things get better without, you know, trying to pull on this thing and then 5 other things come up and you can't like actually manage all of those things, you know? But so many things are connected. Sometimes it's just about finding like what do I have to like work on first, or like what circumstance can I change, you know? And that's not always easy. Like sometimes you can go a long time without being able to really do anything. But I don't want to say that. I don't want to say anything that makes anyone feel hopeless, you know?
Right. Which kind of brings me to another thing. I mean, in the end, it's like it's like one could say, okay, so what sort of solutions can we come up with? What are they here? And is there? And the thing is, there isn't one
One.
solution. There's like
Right.
because unfortunately, when you're dealing with mental health, things aren't one size fits all.
Right.
What
Exactly.
works for
That's
some
why
people,
it's very
as we
individual.
covered, like what works for some people doesn't work for other people. Some people,
Hmm.
just doing the God thing works for them. That doesn't work for everybody else. Or other people that are just like going to the gym and just being a gym bro. That works for them, but doesn't work for everybody else because
Right. Or doing, yeah. You said doing the God thing?
yes.
Yeah. Or doing the goth thing.
The, the,
That helps
well,
some
well, well, I
people.
mean, actually, if you're doing the goth thing, you already have some mental issues that you're dealing with. So it's like that's why we're in this shit. We're
That's a
all sad.
hotly debated topic there.
That's why
But
we're
I
all.
agree.
That's
I
why
don't
we're all
think I've
goth
ever
because we're
met
sad.
anyone personally who didn't have some sort of mental health issue who was into like goth or metal, but I think they're out there. They are out there.
Yeah,
People debate
but
this, so
the difference is like it's they're more kindred spirits, so to speak,
yeah,
for the most
absolutely.
part.
Yeah,
I mean, there are
definitely.
exceptions to it, just like anything else, but for the most part,
Yeah. It's again, you have to find what works for you. And I will say again, I think sometimes based on circumstances, something might work for you, but not within the circumstances that you're currently in. So, for
yeah,
example, you mentioned like going to the gym and like working out. Like I tried that shit for years. Like I couldn't do it cuz like I just like had all this other stuff going on and like
yeah,
mostly like just was like really unhappy with like my jobs and like circumstances. Now I'm having an easier time because some things have changed. I'm having a harder time in other areas of my life, like dealing with grief and stuff like that, but I'm having an easier time sticking with like working out more consistently. So, I also think that there's something might not work for you right now. Doesn't mean you should like never try it again down the
yeah,
line.
right.
Although some things you might just know don't work for you. Like I said earlier, people just kept telling me to try yoga. I don't enjoy doing yoga. It makes me feel very frustrated.
I,
And maybe I'm
here's the
not doing
thing.
it right, but I don't like it.
I actually don't mind yoga. It's like for a little bit there, I actually got in the habit of doing like yoga in the morning before I
Oh,
went to work and
nice.
everything, and it was
Hmm.
great. But then after a while, I just kind of felt like, ugh, because like work hours were changing because I was switching jobs at the
Yeah,
time, and
see, circumstantial, right?
yeah,
Circumstantial. Like there was a period of time where it did contribute some sense of like I don't want to say improvement, but something a good aspect to your day.
yeah,
And then the
yeah,
circumstance
exactly,
changed and it wasn't anymore, you know?
yeah,
So I
and
think
then
that's
also
also
it's
true.
And also, sometimes it's just hard to get into that mindset and that mode in the morning now. Because, like, in the morning, like, I'm dreading, like, because I just dread going to work so much, but I gotta go, It's like,
That's a killer,
fuck.
honestly.
and it's like, I gotta focus all my energy and just getting myself going, pouring some coffee in my mouth, throwing some eggs in my mouth, and my medications, and going,
Mhm.
basically.
I get
It's like,
that.
it's like harder for me to get up like an hour or two earlier, just so I can do some yoga. I
Yeah,
should, but also I go to bed really late because I'm doing stuff.
that you
I
enjoy.
Yeah, I'm doing stuff that I enjoy, stuff that I need to do. Like I'm editing stuff. I'm working. It's like the only time I can really work on music or anything is like late at night,
Mhm.
and then
Yeah,
sometimes I can't even do that then because my body's like, nah, we're shutting down. We're tired.
yeah,
you know.
totally. And that makes sense. But you did mention that you have sort of incorporated like workouts more throughout
Mhm.
your day.
Yeah, I mean the cool thing about working in a warehouse is you're not able to always have time or able to go to a gym, but there's
Mhm.
ways to, compensate for that, and I've been doing that.
Yeah.
It's like I keep myself active, heavy lifting stuff, and it's definitely helped. I mean, I am
Yeah.
active.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot more stuff I would like to be able to do, but I'm just doing what I can.
Right.
And in the end, that goes back into the solution thing. It's like,
Yes.
you got to do what you
Absolutely.
can.
Exactly.
Do what you can, whatever
Yes.
helps.
Yeah. And that's why I wanted to highlight that, because it's like, as the saying goes, we should all over ourselves. Like sometimes,
Yeah,
it's like, you've made these changes. You're like incorporating this into your day, in terms of like being active or more active. But then you have these thoughts of like, oh, I should be doing yoga. And that's just like one more heavy thing on you. And it's like, no, throw it away. Like you found something, you found another way, And I think
yeah,
sometimes we just have to, like you said, focus on what we can do and like what's more accessible and practical for us
yeah.
in the moment.
And I guess another thing that'd be helpful is just be kind to yourself.
Yeah.
That's all
Yes.
you do. Just like being hard on yourself is not going to help. I mean,
Yeah.
once again, it's one of those things easier said than done, but
Yeah.
if you can,
I especially also agree, because I think, I feel like that's a hard thing too. Because as a whole, I agree with you. Like people should be kind to themselves, especially if you've dealt with any sort of circumstance in your life that has led to like a lower self-esteem, negative self-talk. Like you're really not the type of person that needs tough love. Like you're the type of person that needs kindness. Like some people really thrive in the tough love thing, right? Which is like why we can't like generalize everything. Some people really like need tough love, but as a
Right.
whole, if you're someone who's been beaten down in life, you probably don't need tough love. It's probably not going to work on you. You're probably going
And
to just shut
I,
down.
to be honest, I did have to have that actually for a while there
The
because
tough love.
because I mean,
Yeah.
and because in order to like basically be the person I am, because if it wasn't for that, I could have been on like a different route, and I could have just been more. I probably could have been more insufferable had I been left on that path,
Yeah.
But
No,
just
I feel you. Same.
it's like I did get a lot of tough love to be basically going to basically say, "What the fuck are you doing, man? Like,
And
you
that's what
can't
I'm
keep living
saying.
like this, my boy."
That's like my point to that. Like I fully agree about being kind to yourself, but sometimes, and I think it's probably more rare, but like just having a sense of when maybe it is a time for like some tough love, right? Which we all
Yeah.
maybe have at different parts of our life. But as a whole, I agree. I think we all need more kindness
Oh yeah.
to ourselves, especially if you're used to beating yourself up and like negative self-talk. It's like, no, you definitely need to practice kindness towards yourself.
Should wrap it up there soon.
Yes.
It's like
Wrapping it up.
once again, it's like, okay, we're gonna try to keep it an hour this time. Last episode was 2 hours, hour and a half later. But hey,
Surprise.
maybe I think at this point I should just give up on trying to keep it an hour, because we get into a subject, we get going good, and next thing you know, it's like, oh, we passed the hour mark.
Well,
But we cover a lot of
we
ground.
do release like bi-weekly, so
Yeah,
I could count for
yeah.
2
So
episodes, kind of.
that works out. Yeah.
Yeah.
So hey, you only get to see us every 2 weeks. So hey, we're gonna keep chew your ear off for a little bit longer. You're fine. You're okay.
Yeah.
Pause the video and get yourself a little bit more coffee or some water. Actually, definitely, you should be drinking more water in there. You need to hydrate. Go pause the video, go
Yes.
grab some water, and come back and hit play. All right.
For your health.
We're gonna wait right here. You did it. You drink. You got your water. Drink it. Good. Okay. All right. Let's go. Anyway.
Let's go.
Yes, I am.
Perfect.
Dave, do you also keep hydrated?
That's the right one.
Drinking lots of water, Dave? That's not water, sir.
That's almost like a Ric Flair response.
Woo! Yeah. I wonder if they have a Ric Flair soundboard. Which would just have like 3 buttons.
Yeah, I was gonna say I wouldn't know how they would fill up a whole one, but then again,
Sir,
I don't know
what
how
are you
familiar
doing?
I was with Ric Flair.
Dang.
I would just love like a WWE soundboard from like the 90s.
Yeah, it'd be great, except you'd probably have Hulk Hogan on there, and it's like, I ain't fucking
Oh
with Hulk
no,
Hogan.
because it wasn't he WCW, so he didn't count back then. He was in the other federation.
Oh yeah, he was in WCW for a minute. Because he was WWF before it turned to WWE.
Yeah.
Then he
Mhm.
was in WCW for a minute because they all merged and
Oh yeah, yeah.
that was about the time I started kind of getting out of wrestling.
Yeah. Somehow we always come back to wrestling every now and then.
That's right, brother. Sometimes you just gotta wrestle. Sometimes we got you and me, we gotta wrestle. Wait. I don't want your podcast ghost beating me up for saying that.
Oh, podcast ghost.
You like, boo,
Phantom partner.
Phantom partner.
There you go.
It's like an
I
80s
think
metal song. It's an
Mr.
80s metal
Roth
song.
is rubbing off on you.
Phantom partner. Oh yeah. That's we got
That
to
was
duet.
perfect, actually.
Oh
That was
shit.
perfect. That was perfect.
Tell us about the Phantom partner.
Yeah!
That feels like a skit. He tries to join a goth band and it's just like not quite working out because that's like what he's contributing in the background.
It just plays very goth music. I
want to hear it now so bad. Add it to your Bats in the Warehouse song. Bats in the warehouse.
Something, yeah.
Yes, I am!
David
Yes,
Lee
I
Roth
am.
David Lee Roth is the bat in the warehouse.
He's always been the Bat in the Warehouse.
Oh,
What?
It was David Lee Roth all along.
All along. Okay, actually, it's all coming together now.
Yep.
Oh my god, this would be too insane. Sorry, too on our mental health episode. I'm like crazy, psychotic, insane. Okay, bring it all together.
Mm-hmm.
A Scooby-Doo style cartoon
Mm-hmm.
where crossover with the guys from Ghost Adventures, so they're in the Scooby-Doo episode.
Right.
David Lee Roth is in there trying to fit into this goth band. Meanwhile, this warehouse is being haunted by this bat. The whole time it was David Lee Roth.
Now it's time
It's
to
all
unmask
coming
this
together.
bat. Hey, it's David Lee Roth.
Terrifying.
Dave said he would have got away with it too if it wasn't for you crazy kiddlers and that crazy kiddles.
And that dang Zach
What are the
Bagans.
kiddles?
You crazy kiddles and that dang Zach Bagans too.
I can't find the one I was looking for. Like he just keeps screaming.
Seriously though, if you do, I know you already have enough going on. But if you ever do make Bats in the Warehouse, make the regular version and then the version with all of that going on in the background.
Bats in the warehouse.
I love how out of place it is. I love it. I actually love it.
If nothing else, I'll just make a random goth beat and it'll just be all.
I'd love to hear that too. Why not?
Well, look who's back in her spot now that we're about to wrap it up.
Yes, just in time.
How you feel better now? It's always breakfast time too, huh?
Oh, yes.
Yeah,
It's past their breakfast time.
It's past breakfast time, Dad. It's time to
Hi,
eat.
Toast. Whoa, looks like she saw something.
Did you see a bat in a warehouse here? Do you have David Lee Roth bats flying around?
Yeah!
An exact answer. Oh my god, I'm sorry. Oh my god. Oh. The ideas just keep adding on. Okay. So, you know how in like Ghost Adventures they have those they have those spirit boxes where like
Yeah.
the spirits go. It's just all that as well.
Oh God.
Like answering the questions. Zach Bagan's in the warehouse. Are you here because your spirit is trapped?
Let's press it too soon, sorry.
No, that was perfect. Do you want to scratch me right now?
Yeah!
Dude, he just said, yeah, I've got chills, bro. Chills.
Hey, we should wait a minute, fuck that. We should do a skit like that.
Let's do it. I'll be Aaron.
Yes, I am!
Okay, he wants to be Aaron.
Dude.
Good.
No way.
What?
No, I'm just being Aaron.
Yeah. Spirit seems to be trying to reach out to us. Are you trying to tell us something, bro? Oh God.
Were you murdered in the warehouse? That must have been the way he screamed just before he died.
No, maybe it was that.
Yeah, maybe it was that one. Oh, this is like the goofiest, craziest idea. Sorry, I did it again. That's my word. The goofiest, most ridiculous idea. Oh, actually, this is a good way to end the episode. So, I know that a lot of people don't like the use of like the word crazy, for example, now, because it's like,
Right.
you know, seen as demeaning. And me and my friend, who both have identified with that word for a long time, because, you know, we've had like very intense mental health issues for a long time. We were in a discussion about it because we still like struggle with not using the word because it's such a multi-use word. Like people say crazy like when something's fucked up, like, dude, that's crazy, or like if something's like incredible, you know, unbelievably like something unbelievable happened that was a good thing, it's still like, dude, that's crazy. Like no matter what, crazy is, it doesn't even really have one meaning. So we were talking about that and we're like, yeah, it's so hard to replace, because I think a lot of people started to replace it with wild, like, dude, that's wild. But I don't really resonate with wild. I don't really like it. So we were talking about it and we were trying to find like, okay, what's like an accurate replacement? And we're like, that's the thing about it. It doesn't have one. Like you actually have to like work a little harder, dig a little deeper into your like vocabulary bucket to sometimes say exactly what you mean. You know, like right now I just used it to describe this like kind of goofy idea, but like the word I was most trying to reach for was ridiculous, you know? So I think just to end it on that topic, in terms of like if you're struggling with trying not to say crazy anymore, it is harder because it doesn't just have one replacement word. You sometimes have to dig for lesser used words and like actually say what you really mean in that moment, you know?
Right. So, which, by the way, leave us some comments below. What are your thoughts on, like, you know, the use of certain words like that, you know?
Yeah.
You know, especially since a lot of us still use the words because it's
Yeah.
I mean, it's one of those things. It's hard. It's like our old habits hard to break because you go all your life saying something like that, and all of a sudden it's like, well, maybe that probably wasn't the best thing to say.
Yeah.
You know, but it's like because everybody's been saying it for so long, the options are kind of limited. You have to. I mean, I'm sure there are other options, just like figuring it out, you know, and then getting yourself in the habit of using those options, you know.
Yeah, exactly. Like one that I found that I I used a lot, like when I found myself like using crazy for was
Mm-hmm.
when things were serendipitous, which is such a like more ridiculous word, you know? It's like, but that's like legitimately the only other
Like,
word.
yo, say it like some guy in the hood that just had an epiphany. Is like, yo, that's a
That's
serendipitous.
serendipitous, bro.
I can't even say it. See, that's the problem with that because then I
Yo,
can't
that
say
shit is serendipitous.
it. Yo, it's serendipitous. Toast. It's like, you know what would be more serendipitous if you gave me my fucking breakfast, asshole. Yeah, that's right. You took the words right out of my mouth, Dad.
I have yet to buy merch, but please make that a merch. It'll be more serendipitous if you give me my breakfast, asshole. Coffee mug.
I'm definitely going to make a meme of that. I got to get a nice picture of Toast when she's looking grumpy like that. Which, by the way, I don't know if you saw or not in the shop, but like you know about the plantation fires, right? Then I'll end it after this because you know.
Mm-hmm.
So I took a picture like of one of like from the news articles about the with the picture of the plantation burning, and I made made an image that said Happy Juneteenth.
Oh,
and
nice.
and I made it to a shirt. Already like sold a couple of them. And
Oh, awesome.
I'm planning on ordering myself one to wear.
Hell yeah. I didn't see those. So good to know. I actually deleted my Instagram from my phone last week. So.
Like, fuck you, Instagram.
I'm like more cut off than ever now, but good to know. I definitely got to check out the merch shop on my to-do list.
Yes. Yeah, I just literally just added that like right after the fires happened, and it's like a friend of mine she's like somebody should make a shirt with that, and I'm like yeah if they did I'd buy it, and I'm like wait a minute, I have a merch shop, I can make that.
Like let me make a shirt of that. Yeah.
And so lo and behold, right after that conversation, not even an hour, already had the design made, already had the fucking shirt in the shop.
Hell yeah, that's awesome.
I like snuck in a bathroom at work. It's like, let me do this real quick.
I love that. Why not?
Yeah, exactly. Like, oh, we're gonna cash in on racist tears. Oh, boo-hoo. But I had my weddings there. That's some weird energy there, my guy. You're having weddings in a place that had years of human suffering there. That's interesting. Are you also gonna get like planning a wedding like on the 9/11 site? Maybe. Maybe. Oh, you know what? Maybe we have a wedding party at the area that had Jim Jones was at. You know, because it has that same fucking energy.
Yeah.
Right. We'll wrap this up. Any last words?
Oh, last words.
Yes,
just thanks for the conversation. Thanks to anyone watching, listening, contributing. I feel like mental health is a subject that is very important to a lot of people. Like I said before, impacts literally everybody because everybody has a mental health. But especially if you struggle with it, it's a very important topic. And you're definitely not alone in the sense of you're not alone in struggling. And there are resources, people, like, don't be afraid to like reach out if you need to.
Yeah.
And Happy Mental Health May, even though we got it right in at the end, but every day is a day to recognize mental health, especially these days. So,
exactly.
what about you? Any last words?
And my last words is definitely just be good, be kind to yourself. And, you know, just do what you can, you know. That's all you can do, you know. Happy Mental Health Day. Happy, month, rather. And happy World Goth Day, like a few days after.
And happy Pride, because that's just going to kick off in a few days. So we might as well say it now.
That's right. We start it right now. Break out the motherfucking rainbows, bitch.
More merch.
David Lee Roth, before we go, do you have any last words? Do you want to impart some of your Davisms upon our listeners and watchers?
Yes. Yeah.
It's just so extra and ridiculous.
That was so
Great.
fucking deep, though. I felt that. It's like we got the answer to life's biggest questions just now. Thank you, Dave.
You're right. I didn't even realize.
Almost made me cry. You almost got me, Dave. Yeah. You're right. We should do that. We should all do that. We should all I. Yeah.
Those are the best ones. They just keep going.
Anyway, thank you everybody for watching and sticking with us. 10 episodes, man, and going strong.
Woohoo!
The World Goth Day episodes, like that's been still picking up momentum still. So
cool.
Oddly enough, do you know our most watched episode at the moment is the one with.
Tell me.
What? Which one?
I was gonna guess that.
I should have stopped.
I was gonna guess that because I just felt like he would have been searched for a lot on YouTube.
Yeah. YouTube. So yeah. Surprisingly enough, no like hate comments on that yet. Well,
nice.
Like I don't think he's gonna notice anyway. He's too busy drinking and making prosciutto sandwiches or something. Whatever the fuck he's doing.
And rolling around in his millions that he makes from streaming.
You're more like rolling around those receipts of all the booze he's bought with it.
Rolling around in the receipts.
Now, there's somebody who could deal with help with mental health.
We all can.
Yeah. Faux show. But thank you for watching. We love you all. Thank you for joining us every episode. And we'll see you next time. And remember to resist, persist, and exist. And no matter what these motherfuckers tell you, you are valid. You are worthy of love. And we fucking love you.
Aw. Yeah.
Yeah. Tell them, Jasmine. Tell them what's up. Tell them.
Oh, God. I'm going to have my own box.
Yeah.
Yes, I am.
Wrong button. Damn it.
Yeah.
That was not the one I was trying to hit.
Oh, yeah.
Close
There
enough.
you go.
All right. Thank you, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye. he even wearing PPE? And he's not even safety goggles? What the fuck?